feel like they dropped Dean Ambrose's old gimmick. We're just gonna forget about
That did
it.
happen.
So that T-shirt, you're not even gonna get the T-shirt, and you're not even gonna be part of the podcast anymore. What are you gonna do with your T-shirt, Ben?
I'm burning
Let's
like I burned my Brock
well,
Lesnar
let's just
this
say,
time.
Oh
well,
yeah, we're
well, I've still
alive
got
by the
whole
way.
let's-
Yeah, I
The
know.
Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to that wrestling podcast, guys. Everybody, I'm Sheepshifter with Benjamin Rivers, Soul Amazing, and your boy Street Killing HD. So, what's up, guys? 1 year,
So,
1 year
this is a
of
One
new
that
year.
wrestling podcast. We made it
DWP.
through 364 days. 1 year tomorrow. So that's a lot of
Yeah,
podcasts,
1 year
guys.
tomorrow.
52 podcasts. We didn't miss a week.
Oh, we didn't miss a
So-
week at all,
even the time
buddy.
she did a podcast by himself.
By himself, yeah.
A week.
Yeah, she
I
did
made
well,
sure.
I guess, by herself.
Well,
I made sure that we didn't miss a week.
It was awkward, but it was a podcast.
well,
It
half
was.
the times I
Shit.
actually did
You know
actually
what's
miss the
crazy?
podcast because I was
You know
like,
what's fucking
She
crazy?
probably enjoyed it, to be honest. Like, man,
You know
I
what's
can say what I
crazy?
want. Don't interrupt
DWP
me.
did not miss one week, but I was streaming for like a year, and I missed like a few. That was crazy. But then yeah, I
okay.
stream every day.
Hang
so.
on. Remember, well, I have actually, okay.
I don't think she
I
has
have
missed
actually
a single podcast
couple.
himself, though.
Nope. I
I
missed
think
part
I
of
have.
one like last
She-
month,
part of
but
one.
that's it. That's the closest I've come.
Yeah, he
I
missed
probably
like
missed the
half.
most, and then Street would be second.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Ben,
then
you're
you
the
know,
second
then-
most loyal, and you're gonna quit, huh?
Yeah, I lived on 1 year.
That
out
is the
of-
second most loyal.
All right, so let's jump into this, guys. Let's start off with a little bit of Raw. Roman Reigns
And-
returns
Yep.
to WWE. This was a pretty good promo. You could tell the crowd was really into it. You know, it's crazy how a little bit of tragedy will turn everybody's feelings about someone around. Because if you remember,
Well, I
about
was
this
thinking-
time last year, everyone
Oh.
hated Roman Reigns. They were sick of him.
Yeah.
Oh, they're shoving
Even
us
me.
down, they're shoving him down our throats. Blah blah blah. But a little bit of tragedy, and you know, Roman Reigns is the biggest thing around. Well, I would argue that Becky Lynch and Kofi Kingston are hotter than Roman Reigns is, even with the return. But
Yeah.
you still got the fact that it was a great return. At the end of it, Seth Rollins came out, and I'm sure, like everyone else, or I'm sure like me, everyone else was like, "Where's Dean Ambrose? Is Dean Ambrose going to come out too? How's this going to work?" But you know, that'll come
Okay.
up later
I was thinking
on.
the same thing, and I think at first I was really disappointed that Dean Ambrose didn't come out like Seth Rollins did, but then later on in the show I realized it was for a reason.
Yeah, it was all
But,
set it up.
like with that being said, like my literal reaction, like I said to myself out loud, during the whole Roman Reigns promo, I was like, I literally said, "Damn, you really don't know what you have until it's gone." And I think it's like a classic case of that for the fans.
Yeah, because you can literally, with the time off, you can really tell that. I don't care what anybody ever really said about Roman Reigns. You can't deny that he did good promos. He gave excellent matches. He might have, you know, a move set similar to John Cena with, you know, 3 or 4 big moves, and then everything else is kind of just filler. But he was very athletic. He hit his spots that he was supposed to. He told the stories he was supposed to tell. He sold when he needed to. He put people over when he needed to. And he gave great promos. That's all around
Definitely.
one of the best superstars in WWE,
I
whether
think
you
it's-
hate him or love
I think
him.
it's really disappointing that it took something like this to make a lot of people realize that, and I say that including myself. I said a lot of choice things
Yep.
on Reigns too in the past, so I include myself in that. It took this for me to look back and say, you know, damn, I did miss it. I made so many comments about, oh, Raw's opening up with Roman again. You know how we always said that every podcast.
Yeah.
It was always, he started the show, he ended the show, and it was all Roman, and we were always forcing us on those. But with him being gone and now coming back, I realized I noticed it. I noticed he wasn't there. I think it impacted the show a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's,
I gotta pay that respect. You know what I mean?
we took him for granted.
Yeah.
Here's one thing. I feel like we say that, you know, the fans are not booing him anymore. But I feel like, give it time.
Yeah, give it 2 weeks. Yeah. Well, they start
They'll end
shouting.
up booing him again.
I mean,
it's kind of sad,
I still stand by. I still think that he was being pushed a little bit too hard.
They're still gonna push him. They're still gonna push him. I do think
he was being pushed on our throats a bit much, and I think that
and they're still gonna do that.
Yeah, I think if it happens again, that the fans are gonna react the way they did before again. I think that
it's guaranteed gonna happen again. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I just think that they need to learn from that time period and not do it again. Like, of course he's gonna get pushed. There's no doubt about that. But not, you know, championship opportunities every pay-per-view and you know, main eventing every show every week. Like they need to like neutralize it. Make it a fair push, not like he's main eventing everything every week, every pay-per-view constantly. He's the top guy all the time.
I feel you.
Like, make it as fair as it is for everyone else. You know, you main event a pay-per-view here and there. It's all about the creativity and the story writing. If they get him in a good story with somebody, a good rivalry, then it's fine. But if you're just literally throwing him in our faces all the time, then it's blatant that you're just doing it because out of favoritism. Like, we need good stories. We need to be excited for it, not just Roman gets to face Brock Lesnar 4 times in a row for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's gotta be good storytelling. That's what's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see what happens going forward. I think it'll be good.
Okay, so moving on to our next topic. We had Aleister Black and Ricochet taking on the Revival and defeating the tag team champions. A bold move, to say the least, when the rumors were going around that they only put the titles on the Revival to make them happy about their situation, and so they wouldn't leave. But they're just gonna have the champions lose.
I've never seen champions be jobbers in this like this.
It's nuts, right?
It's insane. Like, they're literally. I feel like they put the titles on them just to put over other talent.
It's just to prove how Ignis, how you want to say it?
Ignis.
It's just to prove. No, I'm trying to think of a better word. It's just to prove how. Fuck. I can't think of the correct word to be used here. Okay. So you know how you. Now I'm not gonna say irrelevant because it's not irrelevant, but it's just to prove that the tag team titles is not much of a big deal as, you know,
on Raw anyway.
United States title on Raw.
Yeah.
But you can say that with SmackDown too, because look at what they've been doing with the SmackDown title. Not much different from Raw. I mean, it's just been tossed back and forth from these guys to that guy, these guys. No one had really a great tag team title run other than, like, what? A couple of years ago with Cesaro and the Usos had a good title run with it.
And
the Bar and
the New Day. The New Day's had some.
That's 3 people. 3 people. What's another good title one?
Let me just think.
That's about it, really.
That's it.
Yeah. I think they just came to a point where they realized that their tag team division on Raw was really struggling, and they wanted to keep the Revival around for whatever reason. But then the whole NXT thing happened, and they wanted to put those guys over at the expense of their Revival to really push NXT as a major brand. And I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I don't really care for the Revival still. I mean, I like, you know, the classic wrestling, and I just think if they had a better.
So is Lion. He loves the Revival. He has a T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I think if they.
That is an actually honest truth what you just said straight.
I feel like if they had more like freedom with creativity, then they might.
Look on his Instagram, guys. Not Lion.
I don't know what it is. I try to give. I try to not be so, you know, in the beginning of the podcast it was always, I hate this guy, I can't stand him. I'm trying to be open about it. I know that everything's not always their fault, but personally I don't find them entertaining, but I mean, I don't know. I don't mind. I'm just saying I'm not a fan. I don't mind them being jobbed out to the NXT guys because they're way better and everywhere.
I think they can make good heels. If with the right push behind them and given the right
story and
opportunity,
yeah.
they could be great heels. I mean, I would hate them,
Dude, they
and
were
that's a good
actually
thing.
better than freaking NXT. I'm just saying. Yeah, they were actually way better in NXT, but then, yeah, no, as soon as when they got
Like
brought up to the
everybody
main
else
roster,
that's in the
then it just-
main roster currently that was on NXT,
Yeah.
they were way better than
Yep.
NXT.
Yep.
All right, so the next topic
Not
we have,
everybody.
yeah, not
Well,
everybody.
No,
Okay,
you got
so-
people like Charlotte
well,
Flair
Samoa
and Sasha
Joe-
Banks and Kevin Owens.
Hang on.
And,
Hang on. Samoa Joe, he was on NXT, way better
Okay.
than now.
So what? 25% of them?
the ones that hit big and became major stars. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, Roman and Seth and Dean and
Yeah.
Sure.
Kevin Owens, and I mean, there's quite a few
Well,
that
also
did well.
speaking
But
of,
as far as from the past, like 2 years,
Recently, yeah. Recently,
yeah, hardly any
Yeah,
of them have
I
done
think that's-
anything.
I think that's gonna change.
It has to.
I mean, it already is. My boy Aleister Black won a match. So
Yeah,
forward, but
Okay.
boy won 3 matches in a row.
absolutely. So the next topic we're going to discuss would be where Becky Lynch crashed Ronda Rousey's tag team match. So she comes out of the crowd with crutches and basically just taunts Ronda Rousey and gets arrested and escorted out of the building in a very Stone Cold Steve Austin-ish promo. So definitely the right move, in my opinion, to keep that going. I mean, if you're going to say you're going to arrest her, you better fucking arrest her the next week. Even though it's storyline.
Becky Lynch's like Kill Bill-ish kind of fucking attire.
The attire, yeah.
It like it reminds me of Kill Bill.
Yeah,
It's like,
she's really about to kill somebody.
she's walking around like fucking Kill Bill up in here. I mean,
You know,
the
I'll tell you
colors
what,
are
though,
inverted, but if
This
if it
arrest
was yellow
storyline
and
was
black, then yeah.
this was so much better than when this Shield got arrested. Oh my god, that was so
Yeah.
And then they show up like 30 minutes later. It's like so obvious. Like, you really got like arrested, booked, and then somehow escaped prison, made it back. They were all within an hour. Like it was so bad. But this arrest storyline was actually good.
So this actually ties in a little bit with this, but apparently the war of words between Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch has gotten so heated that even WWE has said, hey, wait a minute, you guys are saying the wrong kind of shit now. They're dropping F-bombs, and Ronda Rousey's talking about how somebody said something about how Becky Lynch's armbar looks like she's trying to grab onto the dick she wishes she had.
What?
Yeah, that's what Ronda said to Becky. She said,
Yeah.
Really?
you're with your fake ass armbar that looks like you're trying to, grab the dick you wish you had."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And
and this is actually a thing.
Savage.
it was
What?
there seems to be this may have gone beyond kayfabe. This may be some real life drama here. Here's how it started. Becky said, "Ronda, you go back and get that belt because I didn't come this far to collect it from Stephanie. I came all this way to take it from you." Ronda says, "That's what I'm trying to do, dumbass. You hobbling around and trying to be a ginger crutch ninja and taking fake prison photos in the hallway isn't helping." Then Becky said, "Keep that F word out of your mouth and concentrate on getting better at this business instead of trying to remain above it." And
When did
Ronda,
they say this?
this was February
This
28th.
was like
Yeah, but where? Social media?
Twitter.
Twitter?
Yeah. So
they
Ronda
took it
says,
straight to Twitter.
F word, you mean fake? Fake like your nonsensical BS armbar that doesn't even work and just looks like you're holding the dick you wish you had. And then Becky Lynch said, it does look exactly like one now that you mentioned it, and opened up and posted a picture of her doing the disarmer, but where Ronda Rousey's hand is in the picture, she replaced it with Ronda Rousey's husband's face. So she's like, yeah, it does kind of look like a dick. And this is where I think it gets heated. Ronda Rousey replied, Rebecca Quinn, I don't care what the script says. I'm beating the living shit out of you the next time I see you.
You know, okay, here's the thing. You may think that this is not kayfabe, but I think this is an advancement in kayfabe. If you look at it in these days and age, social media is a big platform.
Is the kayfabe now.
Exactly. They're extending kayfabe, so it's kind of hard to see. Like, just look what WWE's doing on their Twitter. They're posting their own news on their own Twitter page.
Well, see, WWE
like,
has stepped in and said that they are, quote unquote, aren't thrilled with some of the wording used.
Well, that might be just another way to get attention on it. If people see,
that's what I'm thinking. I get that.
About this, let me go see what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, it definitely could be that this is the new kayfabe. Is that
because if WWE legitimately was upset about it, they wouldn't tweet about it. They would just take the post down. They would make them remove the tweets. They just wouldn't do that.
So that's, like in my opinion, that's a good thing.
When Corey Wise posted that thing, WWE lawyers forced her to remove it. That's what they would do. They would draw attention to it, like tweeting about it.
But is the post still up there now? That's
yeah.
The thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's still up there.
That's how you know. Like, if they really had a problem with it, they would take it down.
So their tweets are still there.
That's why I really think that Twitter is like major for the WWE.
Yeah, it's still there. I see it.
I look up like what wrestlers have, like how many followers, because I really think it's important for the company to keep guys who have lots of Twitter followers signed to the company. I think it would.
Oh yeah, like 3 other people that released.
Say somebody who has 3 million followers on Twitter goes to AEW. All they have to do is put out a tweet, "Catch me on AEW tonight." That's 3 million people that are going to see that will potentially go watch AEW now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like the more followers you have on Twitter, the more promotion there is.
This is what makes this day and age good for, companies like this. Because back then, it was hard to get people's attention. What did you have back then?
Description of WWE magazine
and yeah, there's not much
stuff like that. Don't exist.
Those crappy wrestling magazines from the grocery store.
Yeah.
I used to read those all the time when I was a kid, and they came with posters.
I didn't buy them, but when my mom went to the grocery store, I would head straight over to the magazine aisles and I would look at them then, but I'd never bought them.
Yeah, I would look at them. I didn't really buy them.
When I was a kid, my mom was really big into wrestling too, so we would buy them and like hang the posters up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
my
mom used to be big in wrestling too.
Yeah, my mom would literally
my mom and my dad.
My mom had her work schedule set a certain way so that she could watch wrestling. She wouldn't. I think it was like Friday nights. SmackDown was back then.
Yeah. It was.
She wouldn't work. She wouldn't work those nights just so she could watch it. Like she watched it religiously.
Same. My mom.
She's the reason why I got into wrestling.
GG.
Yeah.
He
Social media
T-shirts with
is
the Rock
key
on it to this day.
these days.
True. Oh god. Hang on. So the whole like Ronda Rousey thing also. Okay, can we actually just talk about the whole what happened like after that match when Ronda Rousey actually like, laid down the title like right in front of
well, Ben, I have
Yo, I
notes.
watched Raw and also SmackDown. I watched Raw and SmackDown, so I can't
Congratulations!
actually call that.
Now let me finish what I was saying. I have this written down in an order, and that was the next thing, but I was making sure everyone else had gotten their opinion in. So if you could kindly hold on for one moment while we make sure that everyone else said everything that they needed to say.
Well, already said it, don't worry.
That was the next part. But I mean,
Yeah, social media very important. Yep.
Okay, I just had to make sure everyone was done. Now, the next part we're going to cover would be where Ronda Rousey had a promo with Stephanie McMahon, and she basically said that the title was just a gaudy or something like that, and just left it in the ring and left with Stephanie looking like, what the fuck? So
I think this was I think everything that they're doing with this rivalry has been really good, and I think that this promo was specifically good for Ronda because based on the way the fans have been kind of turning on her and kind of already like over her in a way, they're favoring Becky 110%.
Yes, this was good.
I think this was good on Ronda's part to show I really genuinely don't want to be favored and pushed and given the title so much that I'm just gonna lay it down.
They're doing everything they can to give her any little bit of good, positive press that they can. They're like, we've got to save her somehow.
I don't think that they want their match to be everybody just wants to see Becky Ronda's ass. I think what they want is for us to want to see a genuine good fight between the two of them. They don't want extreme. They're not trying to sway the favoritism in one direction. It's not supposed to be like a heel face.
But it's literally not going to matter. I mean, they could write the best storyline in the world, but people are still going to just want Becky to win. They just want to have it so that people look at it as more like but Ronda's not that bad now. They're trying to say, well, give them a good second choice for if Ronda goes to SmackDown. Maybe they'll cheer for her over Charlotte. Or something like that. But as
I like how we're totally like ignoring all of the kayfabe, and we just know that it's gonna be like Becky and Iron talking about Charlotte.
Well, hold on now. WWE is not afraid to piss everybody off at WrestleMania either.
True.
They
did that 2 years ago? A year ago.
Every year they do something that everybody's like, what the hell? Because everybody wanted this one thing, and they're like, no, we're just not going to do that.
I don't know. After last year's WrestleMania, they really need to step up this WrestleMania.
Oh my God! Last year's WrestleMania
this year's WrestleMania better be like, holy fuck.
Well, this is the year that's supposed to be for us. They're supposed to give us what we want. The big promise.
The best WrestleMania of all time type shit.
Yeah.
I honestly think since the promo with the McMahon family talking about, we're taking back over and the fans doing what you want. There's been a bad show or two since then, but I think, genuinely, both brands have been better since then, for the most part. Especially the past, 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, the last month has been, I've been really surprised with the product. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just really hoping that that's going to continue throughout WrestleMania. WrestleMania needs to be a huge show. I don't have much hope for Fastlane, honestly. I think Fastlane's going to be it's going to be like a C+ at best.
I feel like it's just going to be like a little bit of an appetizer. That's what it is.
I mean, I'm hoping that it's better than that, but I really don't think it's going to be anything.
Yeah, hopefully we actually do get 10 to
I think it'll be okay. Maybe like a B- type deal, or B, solid B. But I mean, not just because of the matches, because I think they'll be trying to continue to build some momentum for WrestleMania. So I think there will be some big moments that we're like, oh hell yeah. So I think there will be that, and. The thing is, it takes away from the WrestleManias a bit, and that I think gives Fastlane a little bit of an edge. Not that it's going to be better in any regard, but it's that Fastlane doesn't have to follow TakeOver. WrestleMania does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's another thing.
yeah.
when you've got something that just happened the day before that was better than what you're...
They've been promoting the NXT guys so hard. This takeover is about to be insane.
Oh, it is.
And I don't think the last takeover honestly was that good. I think it's the worst one that I've seen. Not saying that it was bad. Not saying that it was bad. In comparison to all the takeovers that I've seen, I think the last one was the worst one out of the group.
Okay.
The past 6 takeovers, I think the most recent one was the worst out of the 6.
You don't have to argue about Soul's opinion of a pay-per-view, Ben. It's okay.
No.
He's allowed to have it.
I'm just saying, it was...
I don't find anything wrong with what I just said. I didn't say that the show was bad.
Well, it was better than WrestleMania.
It's like Ben. It's like we said. It's like we said last week. It's like being the worst Starburst.
You have to bring Starburst now.
Okay, it's like being the worst Skittle. It's like being the worst.
No, it's been like the worst Brock Lesnar.
Fine, being the worst Brock Lesnar. You're still a millionaire.
There you go.
Anyway,
like I said, I think this next takeover is going to be one of the best takeovers. I think they're going to push really hard to give us the best takeover possible, especially it being before WrestleMania and all the promotion
it will. It'll be epic. They'll have some great stuff planned. So our next topic will be the Shield saves Dean Ambrose. So Dean Ambrose gets jumped in the middle of his match by Elias first, and then Elias, and then Baron and Drew McIntyre. No, Baron and Bobby Lashley join in on the assault. So Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins came and rescued Dean Ambrose, and they had a nice little moment where they were looking at Dean, and it was kind of they said a lot without saying a word.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
That's why I said at the beginning of the show, when I was disappointed at first about Dean not coming out, this is what I meant. When it got to this point, it made things interesting because, Seth's music hit, and you're like, wow, okay, from the last episode, they had the little funny thing in the back where Dean was like, hey, where were you at out there? And he's like, what? And, Seth came out to help him, and that felt good. And then it was, like, for a split second, it's like, is Roman going to come out too? And then, boom, his music hits. And it's like, all right, now I understand. Because it left us questioning. And now, at the end of that, when they turned back around and just stared at Dean in the ring, it leaves that anticipation of what are they going to do? Are they going to reunite? Are they going to continue to help him? Are they just do their own thing? I like that they didn't just instantly, as soon as Roman came out, boom, Shield reunited, throw it in your face.
True.
They're gonna slowly pace it on us, and that's what I meant by the Roman pushing thing. I want it in slow increments. Keyword increments.
Increments. Absolutely. So, do you think it'll be a full-on Shield reunion?
I think so.
I do.
Or just a WrestleMania match, and then they go their separate ways.
Also, I think it'll be a full Shield reunion for a little while. I think it's good though because it gets Dean back in the fans' good eyes. And also, I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's a lot of rumors now going around that Dean Ambrose is not leaving the company.
Yeah, that they're promoting dates for him outside of his contract. So no hard evidence, but that's definitely promising that they're saying, hey, he's going to be at this show, and his contract's. And
I've seen a sudden change in his character as soon as the rumors came about.
Absolutely.
That he was going to leave. I think Vince respects him enough to say, hey, you're right. I don't want to lose you.
I don't know if it was 100% all about a respect thing, as much as it was. I mean, obviously there is some respect if they're willing to, go to him and probably be like, hey, what's wrong? What can we do? Let's fix
Normally
this.
Vince doesn't give a fuck.
But this is also a critical time of year. It's also a critical time for the WWE in terms of how they look and who they might lose to certain other independent companies that are trying to build a following. So, who's that? But yeah,
definitely. That definitely plays a role in it as
I
well.
think this is more of a circling the wagons than a let's. I think if AEW didn't exist, they'd be like, do whatever you want, Dean Ambrose. But the fact that
You think it'd be
AEW,
that blatant?
look how much
Absolutely.
look how much they didn't care a month ago.
Yep. So,
I'm pretty sure
yeah,
Dean
I mean, I
Ambrose.
can
I'm
see
pretty sure
that,
Dean
yeah.
Ambrose was unhappy at that time too.
Yeah, it's definitely.
He doesn't take me as the type of person who is afraid to speak his mind or say what he's feeling. I think that he's genuinely that type of person, like a Stone Cold, who's kind of just gonna say what he feels instead of what is necessarily right or wrong.
Mhm. I like the funny, crazy gimmick thing. You know what I mean? Like a lunatic fringe, but that can make you laugh type of. I love the Miz rivalry with Dean Ambrose. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Him coming out as the cameraman.
That was really a lot of fun.
Dressed up as like the teddy bear or whatever. Like that whole rivalry was so fun to watch. I want more of that. That's why I say that Intercontinental title run before he got injured was the best I've seen from him since I started watching wrestling. I want more of that from Dean Ambrose.
What, you don't remember
showed-
that amazing epic match at Extreme Rules between him and Brock Lesnar with the chainsaw?
haven't
Wasn't
watched
that
it all. Like, I
WrestleMania,
actually-
not Extreme?
That was
WrestleMania. It was
that-
WrestleMania.
It was
Was
WrestleMania.
oh.
I actually have that open on my WWE Network. I started watching.
But it was so
previous
terrible.
WrestleManias that I hadn't seen, and when I got to that match, like the match started, and I got distracted, and I haven't went back to it. I haven't actually seen the match yet.
You never watched that match?
I'm
Wow.
on the match. Like the match is like on my WWE Network. Like,
That is
I guess
so-
I continue watching.
That's such a so ironic. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, the match, like the build up, like if the build up made it seem like this shit was going to be violent and brutal and all this. And Dean Ambrose actually spoke publicly about how he had all these ideas for this match, and he wanted to do all this, and Brock Lesnar was like, nope, not going to do it. So they had the match Brock Lesnar wanted to have, and not the match that Dean Ambrose wanted to have. And Dean Ambrose was really, really disappointed in the outcome of that match. And anyway, so yeah, he was disappointed in that, and they had a bit of heat between Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar for that. But I think that things are definitely trending upwards for Dean Ambrose, in no small part due to AEW. So we'll move on. Ric Flair's birthday, the big 7-0. And before he could even get out of the dressing room, we see Batista dragging a cameraman, which is like, here's the thing that threw me off. He's already late to the ring, and this is all live. But Batista's just then dragging the cameraman. So why is Ric Flair late? Ric Flair late.
He was just like in his dressing room.
Well,
They were all worried about him and all
The
this.
music would hit.
So why isn't... You see what I'm saying? The
This was a
timing is all
terrible
wrong.
setup.
The
This was a
ti-
terrible
Okay.
setup.
If he was getting if he was getting
Late.
attacked, why? And that's the reason why he's late. That's how it usually works. He's getting attacked. Oh my God! Live as we speak, he's getting attacked. But no, live as we speak, Batista's dragging a cameraman towards Ric Flair's room. But Ric Flair should have already been in the ring. He's not being held up by Batista.
It was a terrible setup.
I
I
was
was like, why is he being so late?
well, it was
And
like
no,
the
no,
shot
no.
at some Batista.
No,
Really?
guys, you guys are looking this out all wrong. Like the Bosch
Okay.
guy said,
Like when
Batista helped him ghetto. He was having issues in the room. Maybe his pants wasn't going on. He was hopping around with
He was
one
having a
leg,
heart
trying
attack.
to get the other pin. Maybe he was having a heart attack.
A stroke.
Batista helped.
Batista did
Yeah.
CPR and was like trying to elevate his, head above his neck, or his head
They
above
just
his
dragged
chest.
him out
He's trying to
and
get the
dragged
blood
him to
flow going.
safety.
Batista saved lives that night. Okay.
Batista saved lives, guys. All right.
And then
Batista's a good
he showed the camera. He's like, "See what I did, Hunter? I saved Ric Flair for you."
guy. Exactly.
And now Hunter's mad because Ric Flair's alive, because the whole time that's what it was. Triple H poisoned Ric Flair.
Exactly. That's what
Batista saved him with emergency first aid procedures. And
happened.
now,
He learned by being an actor.
God damn, WWE, you're getting good.
And you
They're
guys are
good
just
with
thinking this
this.
the wrong way.
This is some amazing. I really
They
think
could.
that the whole thing would have been better if they would have done that.
Exactly.
I will say this though, that World Heavyweight Championship that they actually presented to Ric Flair, wish they
No,
brought
they
it back.
didn't. They didn't present it.
No.
No,
The World Heavyweight Championship, in the
I
ring.
know what you're talking about, but they didn't present
I
it.
really wish that they.
Ric Flair.
Okay, yeah, I know that they didn't
They
present
revealed it.
Then why'd you say they presented it?
it. Okay, it's like the
Okay.
same as revealed. Okay, it's the same as revealed. Jesus, man, I have to keep repeating myself again. God.
What?
But I'm just saying, this is what they need to do: get rid of the Universal title, bring back the World Heavyweight Championship, and then build some more better rivalries. Well, first of all,
Why
get
did
rid
they
of Brock.
replace the belt? Dude?
Well, because
I know, right?
well,
Why?
okay, the Universal title. Okay, I know it's red, but why does every freaking okay? Well, there is current like a little bit of big rumors are going around that may actually be
Little big rumors.
Little
a
bit.
freaking
Little
blue
bit.
title.
Rumor?
That's what
They're
they
gonna change
actually
the
are going
color
to be
of the
doing.
title? Well, I haven't seen a
Yes.
rumor like that.
I don't like the
Bruce
freaking
is
color of the
red.
title. It's boring. And
Wait, hold on.
Red is boring.
Ben, what is your
It is
favorite
boring.
color?
All brand
I'm
is seen
sorry.
around.
Wait.
I am
What
sorry,
is your favorite
but
color, Ben?
The World Heavyweight Championship has more prestigious than the Universal title. Yeah,
What's your
well,
favorite
the
color?
Universal
YouTube
title
channel
is
logo
done.
is red.
Ben, answer me this. What's
Well-
your favorite color?
Oh, I know what that's so.
What's your favorite color, Ben?
No, I'm not saying it. Okay.
Your favorite
I'm saying
color's
it.
boring.
What?
You just said it.
Okay. I know what you're trying to do, Sheep.
You said red
let
is your
me
favorite
just-
color, and you
Okay,
just said
Sheep.
that.
Yeah,
What?
I know. Sheep, I'm trying to say this right. So, okay, what's more prestigious? The Universal title or the World Heavyweight Championship?
We're
what's
not
more
doing
prestigious?
this
The
again. Let's
Universal
move
title.
on, please.
There's no more
We've been on
prestige
Raw for
behind
almost
it.
an hour.
Get rid of
Let's
it
go.
and then put the World
Let's
Heavyweight
go.
Championship.
By definition,
sorry,
it
but-
can't have as much prestige because it hasn't existed as long. Prestige partly
Well, I'm
has
just
to
saying
do
that
with
they-
time. To get prestige, you have to have invested a lot of time in something. So it's not necessarily about prestige, Ben. It's about a
Okay.
show and their
I
title
know.
and what they want to promote.
I know.
Chill.
Ouch.
Good God, I didn't know the title belt was a heel.
Which,
Right? He's like so bad at
Also-
like a
no,
inanimate
no,
object.
hang on.
Like,
So hang on.
boring
So you're
little belt.
so you're saying right? So
I'm
you're
saying the
that
belt
World
is
Heavyweight title
fine.
not prestigious. Yeah, but has the Universal title actually turned up? I don't think so. So
Turned down
get
for
rid of
what?
the
Turned
title.
up. It's-
Fuck's sake. No, skip. Nah, I'm leaving this podcast. Say goodbye to everyone. I want you anniversary. I'm done.
That's the
I
third
like
time
so
you've left the
done.
podcast tonight, Ben.
Oh my
Well,
God!
this is
Ben's
like-
We
leaving
just
the
start
podcast so many
editing
times
every
tonight,
time Ben
guys.
says he's leaving the podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna say-
and make a
Yeah, I'm gonna say
compilation.
this, guys. Yeah, this whole conversation, this whole conversation is much better than the whole Lacey Evans thing what happened with Elias.
That's why we didn't talk about it.
I have to admit it. Freaking, what are they even doing with Lacey Evans? They're not booking her right. I'm sorry, but they're not booking her right.
How would you book her, Ben? How do you book her?
How do you book her, Ben?
I know how I book her. 5-time. 5-time.
Five-time world women's champion. I always nearly said world champion then. I nearly said world champion.
It's
World
good.
Women's Champion? Okay.
Alright,
We're
so
just dragging on.
let's move on. Yeah, this one's dragging on a little bit too far. But yeah, Batista killed Ric Flair. So next up,
Killer Flair. No, save.
Vince McMahon screws Kofi Kingston and the return of KO.
No lube?
No lube. Up against the wall with handcuffs on.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
No Kofi Mania.
Raw dogging.
Kofi Mania.
This was Kofi Kingston
Would it be
looked
the first time?
so sad. He looked like the kid who drops his ice cream right after the ice cream truck driver leaves, so he can't get another one.
Oh no.
You know, the ice cream cone fall, and he looks up and he's just like, he's about to cry, but he's holding it in. Like I felt so bad for Kofi Kingston.
I think that,
Vince needs to go retire and just give the company Triple H.
is it just me, or is this a blatant work, and it's not true at all?
Oh no, it's a work, but it's perfect.
Definitely.
Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan at Fastlane.
At WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania. It's happening at WrestleMania. Yep, WrestleMania. Well, because it's already.
Oh, you're saying it's still going to happen at Fastlane?
Yeah.
No.
No, it's going to happen at WrestleMania.
I don't think they're going to give
WrestleMania.
Kofi Kingston a title shot at WrestleMania.
I think that
Okay.
if they ignore this, if they ignore
I think
this,
that's gonna happen on Tuesday. I think.
I'm just saying.
You
No,
what I think is
WrestleMania's
Kofi's gonna snap.
maybe so, but maybe he snaps. Maybe he snaps
like a Becky
Tuesday,
type thing.
but it doesn't
That's
matter
what I'm saying.
because his moment happens at WrestleMania. I will bet money on it. You want to bet? You want to bet?
Yeah.
You
Well, I
really think they're
want to
gonna give
bet
him
some of
a-
those
a
TV
world
shirts.
title
When are we
shot?
going
Let's
to get
bet
those
TV
TV
shirts.
back inside?
Yeah.
TV shirts. Yeah, when are we going
I
to
don't-
get those? Yeah,
I
guess
would
what?
like
Yeah,
that.
they don't exist. They
I
don't
would,
exist.
I would love that personally, but I don't see it happening.
That's the narrative. What you just said is the narrative. That's why it's going to happen. That's the whole story that they're building, is that he doesn't deserve a WrestleMania moment. That's what WWE is going to push. The authority is going to say,
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I think he does deserve it.
and that's why he's going to get it.
Yeah, at WrestleMania. Not
When-
Fastlane.
I've decided that this is going to happen. This is I will will it. I will will it with my mind.
I wanted it for R-Truth too, and that didn't happen. Look what happened in
No,
the
she
Royal
really,
Rumble.
she's really
We
into
thought
this.
we thought Truth might actually win the Royal Rumble. He got knocked out by Nia Jax. So you think Kofi Kingston's gonna get a World title shot?
Hold on. I bet you R-Truth holds on to the U.S. title until WrestleMania. And that he gets his I guarantee you that he gets his WrestleMania moment too. It may not be a world title moment, but I guarantee you that he gets his moment too, because that's what, just like you thought that R-Truth wouldn't get his WrestleMania moment because he didn't win the Rumble. We knew he wasn't going to win the Rumble. He still gets his WrestleMania moment.
Soul's still,
Well, I hope you're right.
Soul's
I
still
hope you're
behind the
right.
big names thing at WrestleMania. They have to be big names there.
That's
I
what.
hope you're right. I'm not saying that out of my personal opinion and what I want. I want the same thing. I want Kofi to get his WrestleMania moment, but I just don't see it happening realistically.
Oh my.
But I hope that he does. I hope that
He wants it, but he doesn't want it.
I do want it. There's not a part of me that doesn't want it. I never said I didn't want it.
Okay.
You put words in my mouth. I never said
Well,
I didn't want him to. I just don't
Well,
see the
spoiler
company
alert.
pushing Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania.
Yo, can I just say something? Well,
Have some
Unless this
faith
is
over
all-
there. Come on.
well, spoiler alert.
This is all a
It will
work
be
leading
Kofi
up to
Kingston at
actually
WrestleMania.
pushing people that the fans want them to push at WrestleMania.
Oh, yo, can I say
And I
something?
can see that.
Spoiler, it
And
will
I
happen.
hope that it is.
Yo, spoiler, it
hope
will
that
of
you
course
guys
happen
are
at
right.
WrestleMania. It's gonna happen at WrestleMania. Spoiler alert, it will happen.
He gives in spoilers. Ben gives spoilers.
Yes.
Okay.
Spoiler
So
alert, it
let's
will
not
happen at
let's not
WrestleMania,
also
that.
let's not just dwell on the Kofi Kingston aspect of this. Let's also talk about the positive in this, and that we got the return of Kevin Owens, and a very confusing Kevin Owens, because he's obviously backed by Vince McMahon, quote unquote, the Authority, but at the same time,
Wait.
no, I'm not waiting. I'm keeping going.
No,
At the same time,
No, this is actually about Kevin Owens. Isn't Kevin Owens the same man who headbutted?
when somebody comes
Mr.
back
McMahon.
after 6 months off the air, that doesn't matter anymore. That never happened,
Yeah,
Ben.
but he headbutted.
This is W.
No. No, he headbutted Vince McMahon, and then the same night, Vince McMahon calls him up and says,
They
"Oh,
forget
hey, Kev,
about
yeah,
all
you want to
that.
come back?" No.
They forget all
You're saying all this happened on the same night? He headbutted Vince McMahon Monday?
No, he came. Oh my God, you know. Oh my God, no.
Happy 1 year anniversary.
He came?
guys.
Oh my God. What's going on over there,
No,
Ben?
he didn't.
Oh my God.
Damn it, no. For the
I don't
first
even know what's
time
going on
today.
anymore.
I don't know.
What are we even talking about? What?
I don't know, Ben. Ben went off on a
Feeling
wild
better.
tangent there. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, Ben's
Ben's losing it over here.
Can we
Ben is
actually just get to
malfunctioning.
our next matchup, which is also the return of Matt Hardy?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, but this also, I will say this though, Matt Hardy, he's kind of like a, what's the freaking word called? Now I'm just trying to remember what it's called. I think he's like a multi-various Matt Hardy now.
Ben,
No,
We're
it's
still not-
back to
we're-
just
we're-
his
we're
regular
still-
Matt Hardy self.
we're still not done with the Kevin Owens part.
You know
So-
what? Screw
Weird.
Kevin Owens. Screw him.
Well, I mean,
I think Kevin Owens on the show
You
now.
better hope Kevin Owens don't
Sorry.
watch this podcast.
so yeah, because you interrupted me, and then you decided to move the show on for us. So
Yeah, it's
we're
Kevin
gonna
Owens.
we're
I
gonna
don't see him.
rewind a minute and let me finish what I was gonna say about
Okay.
Kevin Owens, if I can even remember at this point. So yeah, Kevin Owens, his return is pretty confusing to me because Vince McMahon, basically put his backing behind him, but he's doing like some face stuff and like
Hey, stuff.
yeah, helping Kofi, like saying, I want Kofi Kingston to tag team with me, against Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan. And, they had the match, and then Kofi Kingston and KO were like showing some respect towards each other. Like, and he was like, Kevin Owens was basically like, see, I got you. And it was almost like a kind of maybe one of those
Maybe.
unspoken agreements where like if I win, I'll give you a shot or something like that. So I'm really
Is there a way to
interested.
get the fans to not hate Kevin Owens for getting blatantly pushed in his spot?
Partially, but I mean it's uncharacteristic for Kevin Owens, and I mean there have been rumors of Kevin
The whole
Owens.
thing is weird and confusing. I mean, I think what Ben was trying to say was in the past, Kevin Owens physically attacked Vince McMahon. They were on terrible terms with each other. Why is Vince McMahon pushing him and favoriting him now? Is what.
Yeah, but, like I was saying, I understand that,
It's
but
weird.
when
The
somebody's
whole thing is
gone
weird.
for a long time, that's all out the window. It's like when,
That's true. They don't take back. They don't leave.
they don't
off
bring
from where
back they don't bring back old shit unless it's like
Yeah.
specifically to burn somebody. Like the Miz, like remember this in 2001, that kind of shit. But they don't generally be like Vince McMahon. If Vince McMahon held grudges like that, there wouldn't be a superstar on the roster that get it out.
Calm down. Bro. Calm down.
He's like,
Yeah.
remember this is 2001?
Fuck, sake. I'm done. I am done with Street Sloth right now.
Oh, God.
Okay, Street, are you had enough now?
That's how we do it at That Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah.
Oh man. So now we can move on. We had the Bar versus the returning Hardy Boys, which feels like if the Hardy Boys needed to be anywhere, it would be Raw, because there's too many good teams in SmackDown. To be honest, I'm not excited about the return of Matt Hardy at all.
Why?
I like Matt Hardy. I think he's fine, but I think they're both at that stage in their careers where their matches aren't exciting anymore. Like, Randy Orton would be in that same category if he didn't have the RKO out of nowhere aspect. If that's basically the only thing he's got going for him, that you never know when he's going to pop out of nowhere, literally, and RKO somebody, and that's still exciting. The most exciting thing I've seen from Jeff Hardy in the past year was when he did that Elimination Chamber Swanton with AJ Styles across the turnbuckle.
It's not like that happened at the beginning of the year.
All the other stuff, aside from the match where they returned and he jumped off the cell onto Sheamus and Cesaro on the ladder, they haven't done very much that's been... Like, Jeff Hardy's completely fallen flat to me. I love these guys. They're my favorite tag team of all time. I grew up idolizing the Hardy Boys. Their matches aren't as exciting to me anymore. I don't think that their hearts are in it like they were back then. I think they still love the business, and I just don't think... I don't get the feeling that they're as into it as they would be somewhere else.
True.
Where they would be allowed to express their creativity instead of being constrained within guidelines.
I agree.
I'm not as excited. I love the Hardy Boys, but I don't like this version of them.
I agree.
The Woken gimmick completely fell flat to me. I didn't like any of the Woken stuff. I liked the Broken stuff, but I did not like the Woken stuff. It was a pale imitation. And
Yep.
it's like I said, I hate to say these things because I love the Hardy Boys. They're in like my top 10 as far as solo wrestlers. With Jeff Hardy being, obviously higher than Matt. But I'm not excited for his return just because SmackDown's already loaded with tag teams that aren't getting enough play. And, I mean, yeah, it's another person to throw into the match to keep them from becoming too repetitive. But if they're being added to that mix, you can't think that they're going to be winning the titles from them, right? I mean, maybe unless it's Cesaro and Sheamus, they beat them, but right now it's all about New Day and Usos and Miz and Shane McMahon, and I mean, there's no room for a major push for the Hardy Boys.
Broke my heart.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I broke my own heart. They're breaking my heart.
Well, let me tell you what's going to happen.
I will say this,
right?
there actually will be like a 1-year contract also.
Official Soul prediction coming up.
Official Soul spoiler. It's never a prediction. It's all.
Ooh.
So spoilers. Okay, let's hear it.
All right. For one,
taking my words,
obviously the Miz and Shane are gonna break up. Whether whoever turns on who
at Fastlane,
leading to Shane versus the Miz at WrestleMania. That's a good one. Okay.
That's what's gonna have to happen.
But this is the Hardy Boys reunite out of nowhere. No one expected Matt Hardy to come back. I had no idea Matt Hardy was coming. I thought he was done forever.
No, I knew he was going to come back because he did say
straight
on
news,
Twitter.
straight intelligent. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But
No, on Twitter he did announce that. You know, he's not done with wrestling.
Alright. That's besides.
Well, he actually,
Anyways,
he actually does have like a new gimmick though.
it was
all-time
exciting
fair.
for me because I didn't expect it, and I like that it's the Hardy Boys from the past. It's not.
Oh no! Don't tell me Edge is fucking Matt's wife.
Oh my god, don't even bring up Lita now.
I was kidding.
Lita.
You said the old Hardy Boy. I'm like, oh, they're bringing it back. They're bringing back the Edge is screwing what's her name, Reba.
Lita. Lita. Yeah.
No, the new one, the new wife.
Oh, Rebby.
Rebby. Yeah, Edge is screwing Rebby.
Anyways, the point is the Hardy Boys reunite out of nowhere, defeat the Bar. Looks pretty impressive for their first match together in a long time. And what we're gonna get is a So Amazing dream match between the Hardy Boys and the Usos at WrestleMania. That's what's gonna happen.
I would like to see that.
We get the brothers versus the brothers, and of course the match. Yada yada. It would have been better when the Hardy Boys were in their prime.
Just because I like when things work out this way, I would rather it be New Day versus the Usos at WrestleMania. Because I like when things work out and it's just this big time where everything comes together just right. I think this could be the time where Big E and Xavier have the tag titles, Kofi has the world title, they're running shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it happening.
I don't
said.
think so.
They're running shit.
Honestly, I'd rather, as a fan, I'd rather see Hardy Boys on wrestle than New Day and Usos again.
Well, it's not about the again thing. It's all for that payoff moment where you get to see this final moment, you know, at the end. It may not be the main event, but where New Day runs in, they've got their gold. I mean, I'm a big fan of these big moments, you know, that you can. There's no other time you can do a moment like that and have it be as impactful as WrestleMania. I think it would be wasted and not as good of the Hardy Boys aren't putting on good matches.
They really ain't. Like, half the time,
That's my problem.
freaking Jeff Hardy is limping around the damn.
He's holding his ribs all day and his lower back, and Matt has never necessarily been entertaining.
And Matt is just like
In ring.
fucking slow.
He's very
like-
slow.
He's like I don't know, like an old man trying to keep up.
And like,
That's not always the whole point, though.
well, it's just like
This is where
I
go
can't
on
believe
my
I didn't
rant
say.
This is where I go on my big names at WrestleMania rant.
Well, this is where I go on my
God,
old people need to quit wrestling rant, because I'm sick of seeing Ric Flair. Well, not Ric Flair, but well, I mean he took some bumps, but I'm fine with backstage bits or even things on one-offs on Raw or SmackDown. You know, a big name comes in and has a match, or Ric Flair takes a bump, or you know something like that. But main events of WrestleMania I can understand The Rock. That's a huge, huge name. People are going to want to watch WrestleMania if The Rock's a part of it. But Batista? Yeah, he's a guardian of the galaxy, but as far as most people are concerned, he's the most annoying one. As far as in the media, because he's all like, with the James Gunn thing where he was like all riding his dick, I'll quit too. Like, bitch, please.
Wow. Yep. Yeah, you're hearing it first.
So, and I'm tired. I'm tired of Triple H wrestling. I'm tired of Shawn Michaels wrestling. I'm tired of people coming out of retirement to wrestle. I'm tired of these 40+ year olds who can't put on matches like they used. They got away with it in the Attitude Era because they could do dumber things. They could be not PG. They could say cuss words, and they could be edgy.
Yeah.
But Triple H didn't even wrestle half of the Brothers of Destruction match, and he tore his fucking pec. I mean, his whole chest was purple, and that match was horrible.
You see how Shawn Michaels was in the ring? He was fucking destroyed. The dude couldn't even stand
If
up.
Batista and Triple H have a match at WrestleMania, I'm not necessarily just completely against it. Batista is a draw, but I'm.
Yeah, but this could actually be
and
his
and it's
final
fine.
match.
I get it. It's what Batista
I
wants.
used to be a Batista fan back in the day. I mean, I am happy to see him in a match because it's been forever.
The Ric Flair thing
But-
was interesting. It made Batista look, pretty edgy. It made him look pretty cool, to be honest. I
like
liked
his
it.
glasses.
And he looks mean. He looks like he really want. I'm not necessarily opposed, but I'm sick of seeing
I understand though.
subpar matches for the sake of nostalgia.
Exactly. I agree. This is what I was saying a long time ago.
I understand your argument of the
saying
draw.
this-
Brock Lesnar's a draw, but Undertaker's not a draw anymore.
No, he's not.
Triple H isn't a draw. DX is not a draw. People aren't going to go to WrestleMania because
just
DX is
nostalgia.
there.
It's just
People are going to go to
nostalgia.
WrestleMania for Becky Lynch. People are going to go to People would go to WrestleMania for The Rock. That's one of the
They would.
exceptions. People
True.
would go to WrestleMania for Stone Cold.
And John Cena. Even though John
Some kids and some super fans obviously will go for John Cena.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are past their prime, and that's my whole argument. Cena can still do
Exactly, I
it
agree.
because Cena still bleeds WWE. If you poke him and blood comes out, the sound effect from the Then Now Forever thing probably play.
True. No, if you poke his belly, that's what the sound effect will be playing.
No, I think when you poke his belly, it's dun 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 dun.
There we go. Poke it in his name. Poke it
You don't
in
think
his
that-
name. Poke it in his name. It's
You don't think
John
that The Undertaker
Cena.
is a draw anymore?
Not anymore. Not
He's
after
way
all the
past
WrestleMania losses, for sure.
Yeah, he's way past that.
The matches aren't exciting. I mean, I'm not saying that nobody buys a WrestleMania ticket just to see The Undertaker, because obviously
I wouldn't buy it.
there
I wouldn't
are
wouldn't
super
buy it
fans.
for
There are
that.
people who think that Undertaker is the greatest wrestler who ever lived, and nobody will ever be better, and they will go to anything that the Undertaker is at. So I can't say that he wouldn't draw anybody, but he's not going to draw as much as a very, very talented superstar who all the fans
I'd say-
want to see have a moment, but who's been completely overshadowed by all of these people who are past their prime and don't necessarily need the job anymore. They could step into better roles as mentors, as producers, as trainers, as going to other promotions and starting their own promotions.
I don't think that. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that the nostalgia. There's been a big enough nostalgia push lately for you to feel this strongly about that. I mean, we had the one DX versus
No.
construction at
Every
Australia, which
every freaking big pay-per-view has a nostalgia
well,
push
of
to it.
course, they need to. At
No, they
least
don't.
One,
Okay,
at least
this is
one.
why I say. I said
It's
they
fun
need to
and
start
exciting to
drawing
see somebody
lines.
come
They
back
need to
that you
draw a
didn't
line
expect
where they
to
have to
come
stop with this nostalgia bullshit. Because this is
It's
not going
one
to be
match on the
forever.
card.
It's
Is
not
it
going to
really
be
that big
forever.
of a deal?
Here's
Because
my problem. You've got
WWE
really, really good matches on the pre-show.
current
You've got
WWE
titles not
pay-per-view
being
value.
represented.
I
Current
wanna hear
big
what Drake's
WWE
gonna say.
superstars is never going to end up like people like The Undertaker, Triple H. There's never going to be people like The Rock. There's never going to be people like that anymore. It stops, it ends at John Cena. There's nobody else that's going to be recognized just like as big as those people, so they can stop with the nostalgia bullshit. You're not going to hold on to The Undertaker. You're not going to hold on to The Rock and all these guys for years on years on years to bring back nostalgia bullshit. Alright? It stops.
disagree
It's a new era.
completely.
Look, hey, you can have nostalgia. You can have it. You just don't have to have it in the ring. You can have nostalgia
was
all
guys
day. The Undertaker could
before-
come back and have half the show where he's sitting out there just talking about shit, but he doesn't have to have matches.
There was guys that were viewed that way long before John Cena and The Rock.
Exactly, but that's where
They're
it
just
stops.
legends
It
of a
stops
time
at John
period.
Cena. It doesn't need it
I
no
don't.
more.
I don't
It's-
think so.
that's not
I
how
think
WWE
15,
superstars
20
last
years from
anymore.
now, I think 15, 20 years from now, we're gonna see a lot of the top guys that are in WWE
You
right
think
now,
people
they're gonna
like
be in that
Seth
position.
Rollins? You think people
You
like
don't think
Roman Reigns are gonna come back in wrestling in
Yeah.
25 years from now?
Yeah.
You think that's
Yeah,
really
I
gonna
do.
happen? No,
Yeah, I
no,
do.
it's not. It's
I
not
think
gonna
Roman
happen.
Reigns
It's
will.
not gonna. I
think-
can guarantee
I think
you.
Roman Reigns
I
will
can
be
bet
a
money.
WrestleMania pop.
I can bet money.
star
Roman Reigns is not gonna appear
20
in WWE
years.
25 years from now. I can guarantee
I do.
it. It's not how
I
it
do.
rolls anymore.
I think
That's
he
not
is
how
the
wrestling
next-
rolls anymore.
He
You
is
see
the
how
next John
many.
Cena.
I
all
kind of have
this
to side with
NXT
Street
stuff-
on this.
all this NXT stuff and pushing superstars, like people coming in from indies, people like lower superstars being on NXT than being pushed into the main brain.
People were saying the
It's a
same shit
rotation.
about
It's rotation. It's rotation.
back in the
and
day
all it
before
is.
we were
No,
even
they
born,
weren't.
People were probably saying the same thing about Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, Andre
That's
the Giant,
back
et cetera,
then,
et cetera.
though.
They're probably saying the same thing. There's never gonna be a superstar like Hulk Hogan. No one's ever gonna be like these guys. And then until
But
The
look-
Rock and Stone Cold
look at
came
the-
along,
look at the
and then John
range-
Cena came along.
Look at the range of
Yeah, I don't
how
think it's
things
just
work now.
dead.
Look at how things work now. Things work differently
much more
this
fast-paced, of
generation
course.
than 25 years
Of course,
ago.
but
There
you
was.
don't, you're
They
missing
didn't
the
make
point, though. You're
NXT a
missing
big
the entire
platform.
point I'm trying to
Social
make.
media wasn't a big platform. There's social media for all that past bullshit nonsense. There's the WWE network for all that past bullshit nonsense. All right, you don't need to bring those guys in from 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Okay. You don't need to bring those guys in. If they
That's
want
the-
to be
that's the-
successful,
that's the main reason.
they
The
gotta
main
push
reason-
They gotta push new superstars every year. They can't. Well, not every year.
It's
but
not because
there
of
has to be
wrestling.
extent.
It's because of the
point
fans.
that I'm
It's
trying
because
to
of
make is
it's.
that every time period has its top guys, has its superstars.
Exactly.
That's never gonna
But
stop.
they're not
you can't
gonna-
just say that there's not ever gonna be a megastar like John
They're
Cena.
not gonna
ever
come back.
again,
I
ever.
can guarantee.
For the
Watch,
rest
25
of
years from now,
ever, of
Seth
eternity.
Rollins, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, people like that, they're not gonna be in WWE.
That's
They're
that.
not gonna
Here's the
return.
reason
Maybe
I
for
think
one
he's right.
time, maybe
Because-
one
But
time
they'll
and
make
that's it.
one-off returns and get big pops, and that's the same difference.
It's not going to be as big. It's
stars
gonna
that you
it's
remember.
gonna be a shadow of what it was, like if The Rock came back. Listen, just hold on for a second and let me explain this. It's because of our culture and how everything is on the internet and everything is. The fans aren't fans of the old stuff anymore. They don't care about the Attitude Era unless they lived it. All those people who graduated, 18 years ago, they missed the Attitude Era. Those people younger than us who are in their 20s, 25s, most of the fans
Exactly.
of WWE now don't know who the Attitude Era is.
You're explaining my argument.
No,
for
no,
me,
I'm
and
not.
You don't realize it.
Because here's the
You're saying
argument.
the
not
same
gonna
thing
be
that
Here's the
I'm
argument.
arguing.
Here's the argument. Is that when the Attitude Era was around and I was watching wrestling, you knew who everybody was. You knew who Macho Man Randy Savage was. You knew who the Four Horsemen were. You knew who Bob Backlund was. You knew who Pat Patterson was. You knew who all these people were. Still, everybody that's a fan of wrestling now doesn't care about the history and the tradition. They want what's there and what's now. Millennials want what's there and now, and they don't care about the
They
past
want what's
or
there, what's
history.
now. They don't care
They're
about
looking
no
towards
past.
the future. They have very short attention spans, and they're not focused on what happened way back when. They're not nostalgia driven. Millennials are not at all. They're focused on clear path forward and moving ahead, and they don't care. And I can tell because when the Attitude Era was around and you had Stone Cold and you had the Rock and you had NWO, you could see it everywhere. It's in the culture. The whole world had on D-Generation X shirts, NWO shirts. People still wear NWO shirts. I'd almost never see a wrestling shirt in public unless it's somewhere around a wrestling type event. I maybe one a week, and I live in the South. I never see wrestling shirts.
The only kind of wrestling shirt I would
The
see
only
is
person I
someone
see
John
with a
Cena.
wrestling
That's
shirt
it.
on
John
is usually
Cena
like
is
a
one of the biggest
400-pound
wrestling shirts
woman
I've
in a
seen.
wheelchair at Walmart,
God.
and she has a mustache.
Wow. No,
Shit,
that
what's
just
that?
went to
Here's the
point.
thing. There's no such thing of errors anymore.
The
after
fans
last
aren't like they
era.
used to be. Most of the fans aren't like us. I mean,
Exactly.
granted, there are a lot of real fans who get a lot into it, but with kayfabe broken, with everything the way that it is now, social media, there's no
WWE
superstars
Network
because there's no
provides stuff
because there's no there's no desire to keep them there that long. I mean, it's almost hard to explain, but you could tell, there was a feeling when the Attitude Era was there about how big the stars were around the world. They were household names. Roman Reigns is not a household name. The Undertaker is still a household name. The Rock was a household name when he was wrestling. Roman Reigns is not a household name. AJ Styles is definitely not a household name. Daniel Bryan, not a household name. And they probably never will be.
Back in TNA it was. So
Because
still
look,
think that
like he's trying to make the explanation that
Do you think that the whole world knows who Daniel Bryan is or AJ Styles?
yes, because
Or only the wrestling
Yes,
fans?
because it's the era that they're growing
Yeah,
up
they
in.
was-
I think that the same way that you feel about the Attitude Era and the superstars from that time, because you grew up with that, there's an era of fans right now that feel the same way about the current superstars that they're watching right now. And in 20 years, when they're our age, they're going to look back and say, AJ Styles,
they're
Roman
not going
Reigns,
to look back.
these guys are
They're not
our...
going to look back. They're not.
They're not going to look back.
Nope.
You think they're all just retarded?
They're
Like,
not
they
gonna.
have
No, they're not gonna hold on to people like Roman Reigns.
You don't know that.
And-
The kids
and
that
Dean-
grow up
okay,
in that
so
era
maybe
are gonna
a
look back just like
handful
we
of
look back
people.
at on our
Look,
era of
just
growing
like
up.
just like he said,
What makes
people
it
are
any different?
people in this generation, millennials, are always looking to go forward. They don't hold on to
But
the past
that's
stuff. Look how long trends last. Okay, you see how long trends last these days and age. A trend would last years back in the day. A trend would last 10 years. In the 60s there would be one trend. In the 70s would be one trend, okay? Trends last like a month and that's it.
Plus, all it's going to
Everybody
take is
moves
one
on these
scandal.
days.
One scandal and it's over.
That's all it takes. It just takes one little thing. That's all. Short attention spans. People, young kids these days move on. And it's just going to get worse and worse. And they're just going to look at things, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. One day later, done. Something else different.
They're on to the next big thing. They're trend hoppers. They
Exactly. They're trend hoppers. That's all they are. They're more like followers than anything. They'll follow whatever's trendy and then move on.
I have to
That's what
agree.
it is these days.
And I wish it was. I wish
But
this
you're
wasn't the
blatantly
case.
making a statement about every living, existing human being.
You can pretty much say that's what modern day is. Have you seen what's going around in the world? People doing stupid shit. Kids eating Tide
Tide
Pods.
Pods.
Like, come on.
Just because you
Wake
see
up
if
and
500
realize how
kids eat Tide Pods
short
on
people's
YouTube doesn't mean
attention
that
spans
every
are.
kid in the world eats Tide Pods.
Okay, how
No,
about
it became
over
a
half
problem
a
that it was
million people
universal.
believing the Earth is
It's
flat?
universal. That's when it becomes a problem. That's where you draw a line where it becomes universal. When it gets covered on stupid social media news. You can blame social media
Well, you don't
for
think that
most
people
of
were
the
doing
things.
stupid shit whenever we were kids, just because it's not all over Twitter? 'cause it
Exactly,
doesn't
we
exist,
did
doesn't
do
mean it wasn't
stupid shit,
happening.
but it wasn't universal stupid shit. Not everybody wanted to do it.
Yeah, I think we're actually we're getting off topic here.
You think, Ben?
You think?
Okay, let's move on. This all started
He's
with
like, I think I'm getting off
this all
topic.
started
We're
with
talking about
with the
who's
match I thought would have the least impact on the whole show. So let's move on from the Bar versus the Hardys. Talk about R-Truth defeating Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas both. I mean, while Andrade and Rey did most of the work there, it was still a very good moment for me. Very complete, you know. I was like, oh, okay, he just successfully defended in an open challenge against two people, very talented people, and it was a good finish. It really reminded me of the spot where Jeff Hardy hit the Swanton in the Elimination Chamber, and then he got pinned immediately. It was almost a shade of that, because I think they saw something exciting in that, and they were like, let's do that again. Like, so Rey Mysterio hit the 619. As soon as he finished hitting that, R-Truth was there to roll him up and get the win. And you could see Rey Mysterio was smiling. He was like, you got me. You got me, bro. So that was really good. I'm glad R-Truth got to get that victory. It continues the Rey Mysterio and Andrade debacle. And yeah, definitely leads me to believe R-Truth might be getting his WrestleMania moment. And if it wasn't for that, I might agree with you, Soul, that Kofi Kingston's going to do something and then get back into the Fastlane match. But, I mean, there's too much press on it now, because all the sites are covering how Kofi Kingston is going to get his WrestleMania match because of, what happened at the SmackDown. Bleacher Report, Sportskeeda, all the sites are talking about it's Kofi's going to get his moment, and I think it's too big now to ignore. It's like Becky Lynch. If the crowd hadn't done what they did, we wouldn't be getting Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. We wouldn't be getting a women's event at WrestleMania in the main event anyway. Not that that's necessarily a selling point for me. It should happen at some point, and it should be when the time's right. But the time's right, so I'm happy with that. So I think, for that reason, I think Kofi's going to get his WrestleMania moment, and I think R-Truth will too. And I think for those two reasons, it would be one of the best WrestleManias that we've seen. And just add in if Kofi won the title and New Day won the titles, and it was a really good New Day and Usos classic. Maybe throw the Hardy Boys in there just for good measure, for your nostalgia, because they can work. They wouldn't have to work as hard. They could take more breaks, and they could probably be more effective and tell a better story. So I'm not opposed to that. Make it a triple threat. Make it an 8-man tag. Throw the Bar in there too. The Bar, the Usos, New Day, Hardy Boys. Bam! Big ass tag team match for the titles. WrestleMania. Make it happen. And then the New Day wins in a really, really good match. And then Kofi wins. And then you get a moment that maybe could live on. I think if anybody in the WWE is close to being megastars, it is the New Day. They're probably as close as you're going to get to a household name in the WWE right now. So maybe to that effect, we were a little bit wrong, because the New Day probably is that.
I think it's the New Day, AJ Styles, and Roman Reigns.
AJ Styles is not. Maybe AJ Styles is not. Too many people have no idea who AJ Styles is. Roman Reigns is to a degree. Look,
a lot of the younger people that I've talked to, and I asked them who their favorite superstar is, they say AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles is a much bigger name than you guys give him respect for.
I don't.
I mean,
I didn't know who he was before he came to WWE.
That doesn't mean anything.
He was a quote unquote huge name then. And
accordingly.
I guarantee you, if I wasn't watching WWE right now, I wouldn't know who they were. If I wasn't watching WWF back in the Attitude Era, I would have to know who NWO was, because the shirts were everywhere.
Here's why I think you could become like. This is how I see it these days, because it's a new age, right? We have all this technology. I say the New Day is
to begin with.
No, it's not. The reason it is because a lot of people who didn't watch wrestling knew who those people were. The reason I call them household names.
I see New Day being household names for couple reasons actually, and here's one: because they're not just all about wrestling. We have Xavier Woods.
The YouTube
that's
channel.
on YouTube. And I believe Big E does some kind of, has his own kind of thing where a workout thing or whatever. But as you see, just having a YouTube channel and social media,
and
all these
things
kids
and
have
things that
access
can
to
be
it.
bought,
Everybody has access
things that
to
can
it.
be bought in regular stores, not just action figures that have to be on a specific aisle, but things that moms see, that dads see, like a cereal, a breakfast cereal, you know, on a main aisle. Yeah, exactly. You know, they have a brand that people can recognize, that everybody's going to see.
The household name is if you extend yourself these days and age, because back then there wasn't no social media and whatnot like that. There was only one or two ways to get like sources.
The only way one of these guys is going to get that big to where they can come back and be famous 20 years later is if one of them branches out into entertainment and becomes a movie star.
Like, a.k.a. The Rock.
Yeah.
And John Cena.
But The Rock was already big before he went into movies.
Exactly. The Rock was already big before.
Now, see, the reason why Roman Reigns is definitely more of a household name than AJ Styles is because he kind of looks like Jason Momoa.
And because he's related to The Rock.
And he's related to The Rock. And, you know, he has the very, very public leukemia thing, so that's a big story. It's all over ESPN. It covers a broader area. So,
something
a little
big
bit
has to hit. You know what I mean?
But I don't think Roman Reigns will ever be remembered like The Rock.
Is about the youth. I'm talking about.
I don't think they'll remember Roman Reigns like we remember The Rock.
I think you're wrong.
I don't think you understand kids these days, bro.
I think that the generation.
Let your kid grow up a little more.
They don't remember The Rock or Stone Cold. They don't give a shit about The Rock and Stone Cold.
Well,
that's my point.
But that's the whole point. Is they're growing up in a different time era with different superstars that they're gonna grow up and look back on like we are right now.
When you grew up, when you were watching wrestling in the Attitude Era, did you like Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan and all the old timers coming in?
Just one category. I think
you're restricting
yourself in one category because it's just not superstars.
Personally,
it's
I
everything
did just
you
because
take
I watched
in.
those older guys with my grandfather.
It's everything you take in.
Personal reason.
It's not just superstars. It's music, it's movie, it's TV, it's everything you take in. In this days and age of kids, of young kids, as they take in, they'll hear stupid music, one artist, they'll like it, they'll like that one artist for a couple of months until another artist comes, and everybody's on that. It's a lot of bandwagons is what I'm saying. Same thing with TV shows. That's why, okay, so here's an example. Everybody watched Bird Box. Why? Why everybody's watching Bird Box? Why was it big news? Because social media made it big news.
That's life,
and
though, bro.
It's a trend.
That's all
it was
of
a trend.
Us.
Now it's another
thing. That's not a select class of people. That's all of us. We all move on.
But look, 10 years from now, and I'll be like, remember Bird Box?
Exactly.
I don't really care about
it's like, who's bringing up Bird Box anymore? Everything's for, like, basically memes these days. Everything is just, okay, let's have a laugh at it and move on to the next thing. And that's not just for one specific category. That's for the entire blogging of the entirety of everything in this world.
Like, we watched movies when we were kids that we haven't seen in 20 years.
I know, and we can look at those actors back in the day, like people like Adam Sandler. We could look back at Adam Sandler and be like, oh, remember when his movies were actually good? Kids these days that watch an Adam Sandler movie is not going to know that.
Old and bitter and going on about how your time era was so
Hold on,
better.
Jack and Jill was criminally underrated.
We had better actors and wrestlers
Jack and Jill.
and yada yada in our time period. You just sound old and bitter and reflecting on the past. That's what this sounds like.
No.
Everything was better when you were growing up.
No.
All right, guys, just wait until the 20-year anniversary of DWP, and we're gonna be like, I told you so.
Well, no one. Yeah. Well, no.
Trust me, you're gonna move on too. You're gonna forget all about this in 20 years from now in wrestling. You're not gonna.
You're gonna be like, remember The Rock?
You're not gonna bring it up.
Yeah,
Don't act like you're gonna bring up AJ Styles and Roman Reigns and Seth
Oh, yeah.
Rollins. 20
He's putting.
years from
He's
now.
writing
Trust
all
me.
this down to put in his
I'm
time
not
capsule.
talking about
Exactly.
me. I'm not talking about me in 20 years bringing
He's
up
talking about
AJ
the kids
Styles
right
and Roman
now,
Reigns.
the
I'm
people
talking
who are
about
our
the
age
current-
will hear
I
that.
know.
The
But I'm
youth
just
growing up
saying.
watching those guys.
I'm saying they're different than
is
we
gonna
were.
be talking about those guys in 20 years, not us.
I don't think that they'll hold
You'll
on
see.
to it.
Always love and adore and stick with what you grew up with. It's why we sit here and reflect on our past. We always talk about our childhoods, the wrestlers and musicians and movies and things that we did when we were kids. And it won't change for the current youth. You're always going to love and remember what you did as a child. It's not like these kids
no
are
one's
just
gonna.
like,
Oh yeah, a lot of kids gonna remember. You remember when Donald Trump wanted to build that wall? Oh, I remember that. That was
yeah, we
good
all
Class
remember
A
that.
stuff, my friend.
you don't think
No,
that
no,
a
it's not gonna be
7-year-old
like
AJ
that.
Styles fan right now, when they turn 17, is going to look back and
No,
be like, I don't
you remember
remember
when
AJ
kids
Styles.
used to
Remember
eat
The
Tide
Rock?
Pods? You remember when we were eating Tide Pods when we were 8 years old? No.
Oh my.
You remember when we used to listen to that 6ix9ine guy? You remember when he went to jail? No. Trust me. Everything's basically is just a joke these days and age. People do one thing and move on.
I hope.
Okay?
I hope
no
we're
one's
wrong.
gonna
So,
remember some stupid shit.
but
No one's
I
gonna be
just,
like,
I just don't
"I'm
think.
eating
Hey,
Tide
you
Pods at
guys
8
like-
years old."
You guys sound like you're like 70 years old, not in your late 20s. You're
No.
like bashing today
Because you gotta realize- you gotta realize
you think
these
that people
things.
didn't talk like this about us when we were kids?
I get the parallels,
people
so,
didn't
but
hate
I'm not
the
I'm not
NWA and
bashing.
Tupac and Biggie and
I'm
stuff we
not
listened
bashing
to
either.
and
I'm
the
just trying to
movies
make
we
a solid
watched, and
point. I'm trying to make a
People used
solid
to talk
point.
bad about us too. The things
I'm
We're
we
just
trying to
saying
make a
we're not
solid
we're
point.
not we're not saying that oh today's music is terrible.
You are. You're bashing everything about
No.
today and the youth.
No,
and,
we're not
No.
bashing.
Yeah, you are.
All we're
Completely.
saying is that it's that the culture is different now, and that it changes so rapidly that it can't keep
Exactly.
up.
Everything changes rapidly.
That trends go so quickly and
But
so
all I'm
fast
saying
that
is
it's
that
not
these
going to
young-
last.
All I'm saying is
Yeah.
the young kids growing up watching
Nothing
wrestling are
lasts.
gonna idolize.
That's all he's
different
trying to
wrestlers
say
than we
is
did.
things
That's all I'm saying.
are
That's
moving
it. It's that
quickly
simple.
and it's not lasting as they
For
would
us
back
it
in the day.
is. We see
Hang
it
on.
that way. But
Not
the
for
kids
us.
Don't.
No.
The kids are gonna idolize the
Kids may
superstar they
not
grew up
realize
watching.
that. Kids may not realize that now.
Yeah, no one
But
touched yet.
like, if you give them some
I don't even
history,
remember who
they'll
fucking
then
was.
realize it. But like, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the issue right there. Kids not realizing stuff like that. That's the issue. That's where. That's the whole problem. When do you tell yourself? When do you like? How old do you have to be to realize something like that? All right. Or is it just gonna last until you're like 60, and it's still gonna happen, and you're just gonna be so blinded by like, oh wow, I went through all this stuff, but can I remember anything? Was there anything good or solid that happened in that timeline?
Like, I can say that, there are musicians and stuff that I don't like and that I think are terrible, but that I know because they're household names, because the world knows who they are. I'm saying that wrestling has become so general, so, like, it's almost so predictable and so, formulaic and so tame. It's not like as much of a spectacle as it was. Now it's more polished. It's more of a production. It's almost like a show. When back then the whole live feeling, you could almost feel the live coming from the TV
Does that not
almost.
make today's superstars more of household names than the superstars
No,
of our
because
time era? If
The
they're-
reason it's not is because it's so general that the fans are going to come and go more. And there will be casual fans coming in and out, but the hardcore fans are going to go
You
to
also gotta
the.
realize this. Sheep is older than us, alright? So he wasn't born around the same era as we was.
That's true.
He's like what? Are you like 6 years older than me or something like that?
I'm 33.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were
4,
okay.
but still.
Don't worry. Okay, my mind actually just went, yeah, right back to the dinosaur age. Okay, that went wrong. Okay.
Yeah, there were dinosaurs then, Ben. Everybody knows that.
Sorry, my brain just went like different ways. Oh no.
But I mean, I'm not saying that Roman Reigns
I agree
won't
with
be
Sheep's saying. I understand
famous.
what point Soul is trying to say here, but
to the super fans, like the people who come to our channels and who are really into it. Yes, they're going to look back fondly on it, and they're going to remember AJ Styles, and they're going to love AJ Styles even when they're 30. But
most
I'm
of the
saying there
viewership
are
is
a lot less of that type of fan now than there were then, because things are so rapid that if they're a real super fan now, they're going to go into watching AEW and in New Japan and Ring of Honor, because that's what the super fans are doing now. We stick to WWE because of nostalgia, because we love WWE. When if we really wanted to see a better product, we would probably be talking about Ring of Honor and New Japan and all that stuff at these podcasts instead of WWE, because we're chasing nostalgia.
Do you see anything in WWE currently that you can bring up in 20 years other than something like, I want to say it's a really big deal,
Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar,
championship, but like there's not that many big things.
Brock Lesnar has been an MMA champion twice. Nobody's going to forget that, Ben. Shut up.
Okay. Well, Lesnar is not going to be freaking remembered in 25 years, because you want to know why?
Because Ben hates heels.
No, because
it's not just the fact. It's not just the fact about. Wait, it's okay. So here's another thing. It's just not the fact that things are moving rapidly and the attention spans and all that shit. And all
they were bigger characters
also,
back then too.
Exactly.
They were
remember,
larger than life characters. Now
there's a lot of restriction now too.
Now they're just pseudonyms.
There's a lot of restriction now than there was back then. You couldn't do crazy things like you would do to make a name for yourself.
We don't have macho mans. We don't have people acting. Well, I mean, you've got Nikki Cross.
Name something crazy
Nikki Cross.
Seth Rollins did to make a name for himself. Something that you would remember Seth Rollins doing. Something like
turn his back on the
it's
shield.
like a memory that's embedded in your brain, that something that's like a big accomplishment that Seth Rollins did, or something like AJ Styles did. Can you name something that they did so far in the past? How long they've been in wrestling in the WWE? 5 years, maybe. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do that will make you remember them, other than just their performance? Because all you got to remember somebody is their performance. And
you know what the biggest moment for me?
For him to be replaced. It doesn't take much for people like that to be replaced.
When you asked the biggest moment, when you were asking all, the first thing that popped into my head wasn't Roman Reigns or any of that. It was literally when Brock Lesnar busted open Randy Orton's head with that elbow.
Okay, can I say something?
That's the most memorable thing that I can remember.
Right?
Yeah, same here. I agree with that.
Well, the thing I actually well remember is from Lesnar. Yeah, he lost the title to Roman Reigns, and it was actually a better freaking excuse for anything Brock Lesnar has actually done in his career.
See, Soul, this is my point exactly. That's the mind of the average person who's watching this now.
Okay.
They're just going, oh, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns is better, Brock Lesnar.
We can already just prove a point by having Ben here. Just
Ben is our proof. He's the younger generation, and look.
Okay.
Ben is not my representation of the American youth that watches WWE. No, definitely not. Sorry.
Okay.
That case in point.
Do you think Lesnar will actually be still back in here in 2050? Do you think he'll be still in WWE? No. Because he'll be freaking retired.
Yeah, what about when Enzo got kicked out of Survivor Series?
Listens to what I say and has no idea point
Yeah,
I'm
just
trying
like-
to make.
The point
especially
you're trying to make is that a young kid who's watching AJ Styles right now is going to look back 20 years from now and he's going to remember it fondly and he's going to talk to it with
It's
talk
not
to his
gonna
friends
happen.
about
There's
it, and
nothing
that,
to remember by.
that's what
they're
there's no
easily
huge
replaced.
moments. It's
They're easily replaced these days.
Yep.
It's
Now,
so
back on topic
restricted. WWE's restricted. The minds of kids are so freaking loose.
and my
I mean-
honest worry is that there won't be a wrestling like this. I don't think that this format or this industry has much more longevity with the way technology and things have been rapidly changing. I don't think wrestling.
It's been proven that WWE's lost viewership. They lost numbers. They've been losing numbers for the past year. This is the worst year that they had.
Yep.
Oh, last year.
So,
That,
it's-
WrestleMania
Well,
needs to make
yeah, you
up
said-
for a lot of stuff. It needs to. There needs to be fire there.
come out there.
That's why they're trying to do a lot of
Alright,
things
guys,
at the moment.
I gotta go.
All right.
Of course. Yeah, and they just say he wants to listen.
Yeah, it's a pretty long podcast. As we,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we dug into some
That's
deep
why.
topics. We got to the real nitty gritty stuff. I think we should like cut that whole conversation out and load it as a clip.
No. Hell no.
Upload it as a clip. Why? That was good stuff, Ben.
Yeah.
That's what podcasts are
just
for.
Just save it in there, and we'll get like more views for that one. Sorry.
You don't know what you're talking about. So let's move on.
Making
Let's
the
move on.
frogs gay.
It's making the frogs gay. Let's move on to the
Yeah,
next
move on
target.
to
We're not.
Charlotte.
No, we're not. I'm not even covering that. I
Just say
write down the
next
top.
target.
Whatever. I write down the topics, Ben. I do the homework. We went through this last week. I move on. You wait till I move on, and
Yo, I
then we
watched
go.
SmackDown.
You don't. I don't care if you watch SmackDown. We're gonna move forward.
And I'm gonna say that SmackDown was very good this week. Just saying. but Raw
That's great. So the next target
last week.
Next
that
target.
we're gonna cover the next target, and that was Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan versus Kofi Kingston and Kevin Owens. So we already briefly went over it earlier, but it was a really good match, and you had that bit of a moment between Kofi and Kevin Owens, and you obviously got Kevin Owens pinning Daniel Bryan. So does that mean
What, with a
does that mean Kevin Owens wins? I said Kofi pinning Daniel Bryan. I mean Kevin Owens pinning Daniel Bryan.
You did.
I think that specifically means that Kevin Owens loses, right? Isn't that the pattern?
Yes.
Isn't that the pattern? If you win before the title match, you lose. But if you lose before the title match, you win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's usually how it ends up as.
So
If
I
you
think
win-
Kevin Owens
If you win
will.
before the title match, you lose. But if you lose before the title match, you win. That's usually how it is. But usually, sometimes they would pull an upset. Of,
Yeah, they like to throw a kink in the
curveball.
plan there once in a while. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and move on from that since we already pretty much went over it. The next thing was NXT. I'm just moving on to NXT. We had Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa have agreed to reunite
yeah,
as a tag
Oh,
team
DIY.
to compete
DIY.
in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, where it all began 2 years ago,
Heel DIY. It's gonna be great.
where it all started. And then after that, Johnny Gargano comes out, walks out of the building, and his wife is there like, "Oh no, you didn't." And he's like, but, and she's like,
Oh, fuck.
"You better just make sure whatever," and just walks off. And he's like, "Wah wah wah." So, some great story. A 2-year-long storyline. This is the best thing WWE has done,
I mean,
and it's not
I
even
gotta
on the
say,
main brand.
Johnny Gargano and Ciampa's storyline is one of the most perfected and best, lengthiest storylines ever because it never gets old. Even though every pay-per-view, you know, when they were
Well,
fighting,
it did get
you're like,
old,
oh, it's just
but then they
it's gonna
reeled
be
you back
another-
in.
It's gonna
you
be
think it's
another
gonna be
stupid Johnny versus Ciampa match. Oh, here we go. And then the match starts, and it's just like you're on the edge of your seat in the match, and you end up liking it because they're great performers. They're good in the ring. They're good on the mic. It's just like it's all there.
Well, hang on.
It's laid up.
So
Well,
Gargano
it's just-
and
yeah,
Ciampa
well,
back
that was
together, and I mean, I would rather see them stay, maybe not even as a team, but as like a
Allies.
partnership, like Dolph and Drew were, you know.
I see bigger things happening for them as solo acts, but as allies, it could still happen. They could still have a formation going on, but they can still also do solo things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
Right.
what they're trying to do
Yeah.
is get another
Yeah, I think-
accomplishment of tag team title
Yeah.
because that'll just add another accolade under their belt. You know what I mean? Until they get over to the main brand.
They're
But
gonna
I
get a
think they
car?
No, I think they want to give a Grand Slam champion in NXT for both of those superstars.
They play baseball?
Before they go
Well,
over to before they go over to the main brand. And here's the thing. I hope they don't get swept underneath the rug if they ever do go over to the main brand and stay on the main brand. At the looks at it at the moment, NXT is just basically invading Raw and SmackDown.
Invades.
And you know they're having matches there and whatnot, but the thing is you can't keep that going. You can't keep that up for so long, especially for people that are in NXT Championship. You know they have NXT Championship tag team,
NXT.
whatever.
Oh,
They can't just be doing that because you know there's so many people they can fight until it's just like, okay, now what? It's like we bring it on to the main brand and then what? Sweep them under the rug. And it's like, oh, they were fighting people when they were in NXT. They were fighting people like, who were they fighting this week?
I think
Was
they
it
were, well, they were supposed to face the Bar this week, but
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa, I think he was like dealing with like a neck injury, like at the time, and then Gargano and Ciampa actually had to like get pushed away for that one, and then they brought the Hardy Boys back for that match.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like it's good that they're doing this invasion thing from NXT, but there is to an extent of how long you can keep doing that with, you know, the specific wrestlers that they're using in NXT, like EC3, Ricochet, Ciampa, and whatnot. Is like once they do this and they decide to keep them on the main brand, who are they gonna fight? You know what I'm saying? They already fought people by this quote-unquote invasion or cross-branding thing. Is like what's left for them? You know what I mean?
I feel the same thing. But okay, I don't think. Okay, well, so
We know that, Ben.
No, it's not about that. I'm just trying to talk about like, well, if Ciampa is actually not not cleared, well, I think they might be like trying to like push towards a Ciampa versus Gargano at Takeover. That's not what I could actually potentially see, but that could just be put off. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think so.
NXT
If they're doing this
champion.
DIY thing, I don't think they're gonna be fighting NXT.
I'll show you like the original tweet I was like looking up.
So
Maybe that'll be their last. You know, one-on-one is that takeover. But other than that, I don't know.
I think I might probably in YouTube. I am sorry, but like my brain just got confused right now. Yeah.
All right. So what's next?
Bailey and Sasha showed up at
Bailey and
NXT
Sasha.
to say that they hope that the women there were going to step it up, because the next time they came back to NXT, hopefully there would be somebody ready to challenge them for their women's tag team titles. And there was a women's tag match before it, but I don't see either of those two teams being anybody who would challenge Bailey and Sasha. They're just two kind of four, I guess, kind of up and comers. So that was pretty interesting, and reinforces that title will be moving back and forth. And let me also say that during Johnny Gargano's promo, he said that he was the newest addition to Raw and SmackDown. So I think that those four might be permanent, like all around. They go wherever. NXT, Raw, SmackDown, wherever they want. I don't know. Maybe. So the next and last topic would be the which kind of out of order because Bailey and Sasha return was before this, after this. But Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic was a really, really good match.
So good.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ben. What do you got? Get it out.
Okay. The ending to the match, like the whole double countout, I don't like. Yeah, I think that they should
It needed to end in a double count out so they could continue it without somebody losing. So it's like both of them are equal.
Yeah.
The only other way to do that, the only other way to have done it would for them both to have knocked each other out and had a double count out, or for there to have been a disqualification. Either way, they would have been effective means of storytelling, and it was fine. And the moment where they both fell at the exact same moment when he got to 10 was very synchronized, and it looked really, really good. So I had no problems with that. It leads to a bigger, better match. The match was really, really exceptional. Dijakovic was pretty impressive, and I'm still not maybe a fan. I think he needs more personality, but technically and in the ring, it was great. For a big man, he can do some pretty impressive stuff. Not afraid to take risks and go high flying. It was really, really good. I really dug the whole thing, and Keith Lee is pretty great, obviously, but I think the key thing here is an impressive performance from Dominik Dijakovic. A hard name to pronounce. I mean, they change people's names all the time. They should have just called this dude Dominic or something. Nobody wants to.
They'll shorten it down when he gets to
Dominic,
Double D.
Introducing Double D. Oh, wait.
Deuce McAllister.
Oh no! I feel sad.
So anyway, what rumors have we got, guys? Let's cover the rumors real quick and get this one over
I
with.
have nothing really. Maybe Ben does, but I have nothing for really.
Yeah, me neither. Besides the Becky Lynch stuff, and I already covered that.
No rumors, no news. There hasn't been much.
Yeah, I'm looking on Bleacher Report because I'm
pulling up Bleacher Report because he has nothing either.
Hang on. Oh, hang on. Ultimate Warrior's wife. She actually has joined the creative team. If anyone has actually heard of that. Anything about that recent news? Yeah, she actually joined the writing staff. Don't know why. Bad choice. What else?
I have nothing.
Oh, also, hang on. This is actually about on SmackDown Live. Okay, so there's actually going to be a match between Jey Uso and The Miz, and on SmackDown they spelled Jey Uso's name wrong. They put J-A-Y.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
That's what they did.
They spelled something wrong. That's amazing.
Apparently, Ciampa has a neck injury. That's all.
Oh, I hadn't
Yo,
heard
that's what I
that.
actually-
Nobody said
Yo,
that at
I
all
actually
today.
just said that.
Oh.
Yo, I actually said that.
No one
like, you
said
know,
that once
yeah,
at
when I
all
was
this whole
actually
day.
talking about-
I didn't know Tommaso
I
Ciampa had a
did.
neck injury. That's great. Thanks for telling me. That's
Yeah,
that's news.
great.
Yo,
Well, it's not great, but it's
yeah,
news.
I
You
even
know, I
actually
didn't.
just put
I've
that
never.
in-
I've never
I
heard
didn't
that.
It's like, that's great.
Wow.
Yes, Ben. I know you told it. I'm being sarcastic.
That's all that's all I heard. That he had a neck injury.
So no big news right now. Hopefully we got a great week of wrestling coming out. So far so good. I mean, I'm impressed with the trending upwards of Raw and SmackDown. It's been good the past couple of weeks. Let's hope it continues on that path and that we get a great.
We have you never announced that Honky Tonk Man is in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Honky Tonk Man is in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, like I was saying.
No. Hang on a second. Hang on a second, guys. Hall of Famer Sonny arrested for the 6th time on drunken driving charge. What a coincidence! Hall of Famer gets. Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh, is it a quidinky dink?
No. Yeah, you know the Hall of Famer Sonny. Yeah, she got arrested. Yeah, she got arrested for the 6th
She got arrested.
time. Yeah, for drink driving again.
Drink driving? Damn.
Yep, drink driving. Drink
Drink
driving.
driving. She's drinking and driving.
Yeah.
You can't drink and drive. She can't enjoy a nice iced coffee or iced tea or Sunny Dew. Sunny Dew Mountain Dew.
Oh no.
You can't drink anything with driving. Ah. Is that how it goes? Yeah, there's nothing else, so I guess that's it for the podcast, boys.
Oh, hang on. No, it's not them. Yeah, I thought someone actually became the first African-born UFC champion, then I just realized we're not talking about UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No big news this week, but maybe next week.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. So guys, thanks for tuning in.
I don't actually fall asleep.
We got t-shirts.
Yeah,
We got the DWP officially licensed t-shirts.
Make sure you go check that out.
Soul Amazing
Of course.
Streamlabs from his channel. And then just go to merch. $20 and it can be yours. You'll get it in like 4 days unless you're in Australia, and then it takes 6 months.
Yeah, I should link that into the description of the video.
Absolutely.
I'll put a
Absolutely.
link down in the description.
Link
of
in the
video
description later.
if you
So-
want to check out that DWP T-shirt, Guy
Absolutely.
Wrestling Podcast T-shirt.
And
get
make
one,
sure you check out
$20.
our channels and subscribe to us as well. That's Sheep Shifter, Street Killing HG, Ben, whatever his channel is, Ben Rivers, I'm kidding,
Benjamin
and
Rivers,
Soul
Benjamin Rivers,
Amazing
of course.
Gaming.
Yeah,
Although,
Yep.
you know, on Soul Amazing, you have to be, you know, pretty tolerant of regular shit breaks because, man, that guy can poop. So, hey,
Yeah,
look,
and
guys,
also, guys-
look, guys, we got 7 viewers and 77 we had 7 viewers and 77 comments. It was 777.
Yep.
We could have ended right then, but now it's 978, so that's over. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. Check us out next week when we cover everything that is there to cover in WWE and wrestling news. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. That Wrestling Podcast, over and out. All right, we had to end with the fan noise. Thanks, Ben.